morning, everyone. Welcome to Kwala. And the topic on which we are going to have a small presentation today is how to build production-ready Web3 apps without writing code. And it will eventually help you to build faster, deploy smarter, and automate everything. So let's get started. Yeah, so the current reality of the market, more than 70% of enterprises are exploring blockchain automation because in the current scenario, as we are in the AI era, everything is getting automated. All the like the frequent steps which the user has to do to interact with the product, or the developer has to do to develop the product. These frequent steps can be simply automated, and the like the human efforts are reduced. This is where the automation takes up. The steps are performed by the automation tool like Kwala. You don't really need to automate. You don't really need to actually manually like do those steps, and like it reduces a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of your time which you can spend on other things other than development is taken care of. 80% of developers' time is spent on infrastructure, retries, and integrations instead of building. So the majority of the time a developer has is like is consumed on the infrastructure building management, on that side of the product, rather than like actually doing something more important or more productive, like go to the market time. The go to market time can be utilized instead of this, like time can be utilized for that. So teams are shifting from custom code to automation first platforms to move faster. And because of this, what's changing is like Web3 is no longer just for developers. It's for teams who want production ready, interoperable apps without backend friction. So Kwala is a backendless, serverless tool. You don't need to build a backend setup or a backend code to build a Web3 app which has automated steps. So simply Kwala, a serverless, databaseless, a backendless, which works on a simple YAML logic, which is even for which the user doesn't have to write a code from scratch. Like the YAML logic, it's simple to build the YAML logic because the user just has to pass simple parameters, and like Kwala itself makes the YAML code. So even that is like like not an option anymore, it's a necessity. If you want to scale, if you want to grow, then this Web3 automation is a must for all the blockchain applications, and Kwala is contributing in it. What powers a truly automated ecosystem? So event listeners. So events are basically the like the designated user activities which are traced and fetched by the blockchain, and the triggers are basically the reactions to those actions. So every time a user emits an action, an event is created and recorded, and the reaction to those actions are the triggers which are emitted by Kwala fully automatically. So smart contracts can be called, contracts can be built and deployed, then time-based blockchain jobs, token press triggers, integration with legacy or Web2 systems. So this automation tools are not just limited to Web3. Even Web2 API calls can be like fetched, recorded, and called via Kwala. So these are a few features which, when work together, your decentralized application behaves like a living system: responsive, autonomous, scalable, fast, efficient. So after integrating these features in your dApp, not just the dApp, but the whole ecosystem around that dApp, it all scales. It becomes efficient, it becomes more fast, and the efforts, like the number of steps, they are reduced. Everything is automated by Kwala. Introducing Kwala, of course, our product, which is a Web3 workflow automation protocol in Web3. So with Kwala, you can automate smart contract actions and API calls, the smart contract execution, and the APIs are called by Kwala. Like basically, Kwala fetches the deployed smart contract, and that smart contract data is utilized in the workflow, and that workflow then further executes the automated steps. Eliminate servers, cron jobs, manual integrations. So Kwala is completely serverless, backendless. It doesn't have an infrastructure. So there's no need to set up infrastructure and manage it. So the backend part is completely skipped. You simply need to focus on building a backend logic file. A simple YAML file is all you need to build. Then ship production ready workflows in minutes. So because most of the development part of like like building a backend logic is all skipped, you hardly need to pass a few parameters to build a logic. So everything, it becomes super fast. So your development time is reduced from months to days. A couple of days at max is what you need to go to the market, from your vision to your product, from your idea to your product. Kwala helps to make it build it in a much faster way. And yeah, scale with real-time blockchain triggers. All the real-time on-chain actions, even off-chain actions, they are traced, they're fetched, and the triggers, that is the reactions to those actions, as like instructed by the developer, they are executed by Kwala. So all these actions happen real time. You get real-time reactions, you get real-time triggers to those events which are emitted by the user on your projects. The power of automation Web3. So automation isn't a shortcut anymore. It's the bridge between idea and reliability. Like we all are living in the AI era where everything and anything around us is automated. All the projects, all the products, the whole ecosystem, everything. So like it's not an option, it's a necessity now to automate projects. So automation ensures consistency, auditability, and speed, the building blocks of production-ready Web3, because of which the developers can focus on logic and not backend plumbing. Like there's no need to build a backend. Simply the logic, the flow, the design, the go-to-market part of the product, they can be prioritized over building a backend logic, which it's a really time-consuming, hectic part. Enterprises connect blockchain data with existing systems, no middleware headaches. So simply enterprise can get like the implementation of the product on chain. There's no need to like integrate a lot of things, manage any middleware, any middle party. So even that is taken care by Web3. And delivery cycles shrink from months to days. Like the go-to-market time is reduced from months to days. All you need is a couple of days to build your project and deploy it using Kwala. So from concept to execution, let's rethink how Web3 gets built. So in Web3 automation, these are the four, like the layers, the four parameters on which it is built. Events become workflows. These events are the developer instructed actions which are fetched by the automation tool on chain, and these actions are fetched and recorded, and contracts become reusable service. So a smart contract is the source code on which is fetched by Kwala. So one single smart contract can be sufficient for multiple workflows on Kwala. Like there's no need to build a single smart contract for every workflow. Like one single source smart contract can be a source for multiple workflows. So even that is an advantage which Kwala provides. Then triggers become automations. So the reactions to the events are triggers, and these reactions are automated by Kwala. So that is where Kwala makes your actions fast, efficient, and automated. APIs become collaboration layers. So APIs collaborate for the data fetching part, and this is how the Web3 automation tool works, which is Kwala. Yeah, so Kwala connects it all, orchestrating tasks across chains and systems, and build a whole ecosystem. And Kwala is here to automate all your on-chain, off-chain actions. And like Kwala is a go-to solution because you don't need any backend, you don't need any code. You simply have to build that too. For building or writing a code, you don't need to write it from scratch. Like all you need to do is simply pass the parameters for a logic on the YAML file, and like even the YAML file code is built by Kwala. So no need to build anything. It's all cool. Like no stress to build a logic, deploy a logic. So yeah, let's have a small comparison. So we can see how Kwala has overcome the previous limitations, or how Kwala has made the previous traditional development better. So as we can see, the development time is reduced from months to weeks by Kwala. Then team size is again like you don't need a lot of engineers to build using Kwala. Technical expertise, previously it covered a lot of things. With Kwala, it's reduced to very small technical requirements in Web3. Infrastructure management, previously it was very complex. Kwala being serverless, being backendless, there's no need to, there's no need to build an infrastructure and manage it. So even that is taken care by Kwala. Security audits, which previously was expensive and needed, Kwala has a built-in verified execution. So it itself executes and verifies the code and then only deploys it. So even the auditing part is skipped here, it's completely cut out. Ongoing maintenance, we can see it was like very expensive, then cost cutted by Kwala to like minimal expenses. Total 1 year cost, we can see the difference. Scalability, so previously manual scaling was required because there was no automation. Kwala being completely automated, it auto scales, and it has this built-in feature of auto scaling, which like always scales for your product with your product. And multi-chain support, so previously it was kind of complex to get a manual custom complex integration, but with Kwala it's a native built-in support. So even here Kwala is the advantage. Now let's go to the live demo, which will be taken by Himanshi from Kwala team, and then we will be coming back to the presentation. So I'll just stop sharing my screen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sahil.
Yeah, Himanshi, over to you.
Thank you. So hi everyone. Guys, so today we will create a use case specifically for student certification and distribution. So as I remember from the last time, you guys had a lot of confusion about proceeding with dynamic actions, right? So today our all of our focus will be specifically on how to create workflows with dynamic actions. Okay, so I'll be proceeding with it. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, Himanshi, good to go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so for today's use case, what we will be doing is we have created two smart contracts separately. One smart contract will register the user, and the second smart contract will send a issued certificate to that registered user. So here we will be using functions and events directly. We'll be creating two separate workflows here. The first workflow will issue the certificate. That means here our trigger is going to be whenever the student is registered with their details. Right now, we'll be taking the student wallet address and the student ID. And the action over here will be a call to the function of another smart contract, that is to issue the certificate to the registered user. So this is going to be our first workflow. So we'll be creating a regex over here. And for our second workflow, we'll be taking action on the post side of it. So whenever the certificate is issued, so we'll be getting this student wallet address, student ID, and student certificate ID. Guys, just to inform you, we are not creating NFTs because the purpose of this demo is to explain the dynamic functionality of the actions. So we are not making it complex by using NFTs as in. Yes. So coming to the actions, we are going to send a notification. So here you can get that how we can send notifications dynamically as well. Okay. So I'll just proceed on the code part. So as you can see, this is my first smart contract which registers the user. Okay, so this is the function which registers the user, which we are going to call from here. And this is the event that we are going to emit. Coming to the certificate issue, this particular event, which is the student register, is going to call the function issue certificate. And after the certificate has been issued, certificate issued event will be emitted. So this is our smart contract. Now coming to the Kwala part of it. So I have already created the respective workflows for them. Now I'm going to show you and deploy in front of you. Okay. So the first workflow. Is going to define like this. I have already named the workflow, which is issue certificate. Now coming to the trigger part of it. So trigger here is going to be student register. Okay, so whenever this particular event is triggered, only then the action will be executed. So there is execute after event and repeat every event. Okay, this is the timeline that I have added, that when do I want this workflow to be ended. Now coming to the source contract part, I have already deployed the registration contract, as you can see, and I have already published it over here. So I have added the source contract ID, the trigger chain ID, and it has automatically fetched the APIs so as a trigger event name. Okay, and these exact steps are repeated for repeat every event as well. Now coming to the post URL for notification, I have added this. So some of the participants had asked that what if I add some other server's address over here, URL address over here. So what will happen is all the actions of success and failure that you have been getting over your Kwala interface, you will be getting on your server. That's it. That is what's going to happen. So right now I want all my notifications of success or failure will be over on Kwala only. So that's why I've added this link. If you skip that link, it's automatically going to go on Kwala only. Okay, now coming to the action part. First of all, I have added two actions over here. The first action is to call the function number. Yes, it's gonna call the function on our second smart contract, which is function issue certificate. So this is our another smart contract, which is to issue certificate that I have shown you earlier. And here we have the function name issue certificate. This exact function definition is going to be copy pasted over here. Okay, so here's the contract address and here is the contract function. Now I have selected the chain ID. Coming to the complicated part, which is the regex part. Okay, so first of all, you have to add the you have to add you have to add re.event, which is going to add your regular expression. So how to get this regular expression? What you can do is, we have temporarily created this regex generator. So number of parameters that you have, let's say I have two parameters. Okay, so here it's gonna create regex field, and you just have to copy paste over here within double quotes and brackets. So since I have two parameters over here, okay, two arguments over here, I'm gonna add two events. Okay, and that's how you can add parameters in your functions. Now coming to our second action, this is just to confirm if this action is working or not. So what I have done is, whenever the trigger happens, it's gonna send a notification like certificate issue. This is a static notification. I'll tell you in the second workflow how you can make it dynamic as well. Okay, so this is our workflow completed, and I want this execution mode to be parallel. Now I'm gonna compile this again and deploy it. So the deployment is going to take a few seconds, as this deployment is actually going this workflow on a blockchain, which is called DLT. So this is going to take a few seconds. Now we'll create our second workflow, which is to notify the user about the certificates, right? So I'm going to show you from here. Second. Yes, we have named this workflow. Now coming to the triggers part. So here the event is going to be from our second smart contract. Okay, so our second smart contract is this one, and it is going to emit this event, which is certificate issued. So whenever this particular event is emitted, this is going to trigger a notification. So we have added the smart contract details, and we have added the trigger name as well. Going to the next part of it. Yes, this is the Telegram notification. Now coming to the API part of it. So some of the participants have been having problems that it is not accepting the exact way. It is because it's not in JSON format. So what you can do is you can copy paste this RE event from here. But as you can see that this value and this value is exactly not same, right? So what you can do is you can ask ChatGPT also. Actually, it's not that complicated. It's basically a forward slash over every notation. But what you can do is you can ask ChatGPT to fix it to JSON and don't change the regular don't change the regular expression from here. Okay, and it can create an exact format for you. This is exactly the same regex, but just in the JSON format. So in the end YAML, you are going to get the same YAML. You are going to get the same regex. Okay. Now I'll click on next. This I want it to be parallel. I'll take you to the regex part over here. So as you can see, it's bracket double quotes, and it's the exact same regex as over here. Okay, so you have to make sure that your regex is exactly what you have asked for. Okay, now I'll compile this code and I'll deploy this workflow as well. Okay, as it's getting deployed, let's check if our last workflow has been deployed or not. We'll just activate this workflow now. Okay, it's activated now. Let's wait for a few seconds. Let's wait for a few seconds to get it deployed and then we'll activate it. So after that, we are going to get on our remix side. Let me just compile this code. So what we are going to do is we are going to shoot the workflow from here, and it's gonna automatically post me a notification of the shared wallet address, student ID, and certificate ID. Okay. So that's what we are aiming for. So we are going to get the entry on blockchain on this smart contract and this smart contract as well, on both the smart contracts. So we are going to check it now. I've compiled this code. Let me just call this smart contract. Okay, so as per the logic, I have to add this to the wallet address has to be new. So I have tested it multiple times. Let me check. I'm gonna use this test wallet address. I have to switch it back to Amoy, which I'll do after deploying this contract. So I'll just activate this contract first. Oh, showing issues. It's happening because I was on another wallet. Let me get back to my user one. Just admin of Kwala. Okay, it's getting activated. Let me check my first. Yes, this is also getting activated. Let me set up my remix until then. So Now I have to switch my account to a student address, which is going to be a new address. So I have enough code with me. Yes, so I'm on this address now, and it has fetched the value. I'm gonna paste it, and let's uh, let's take the student ID as 11007. Let's wait if our workflow has been deployed. So issue certificate is deployed. Let's check the notification one if it's deployed. So okay, it's getting activated.
Hi guys, parallelly you can keep posting your questions in the chat. We will be addressing all of them. So this will take a couple of seconds, but yeah, like any question if you have, feel free to ask. The whole product team from Kwala is here to address all your questions. Harsh, you can unmute yourself if you have a question and you can simply ask it.
Uh, Hi, hi, Sahil. I have posted my question in the chat actually. I just explained it there.
Okay, it's around regular expressions only, right?
Yes, yes.
Himanshu, would you like to address it? It's around
Let
regex only, the
me
part
get
which just
to
covered.
it. Which question is it? Is it this question?
Uh, is it the regex one, the above one? Yeah. So it started from more above.
Okay, you have seen this regex. Okay, I guess this is the old way we are getting the regex, but you can use this
Yeah,
website to
yeah. I
generate
have I
and it
use
will
that.
work.
You
Mm.
can see the above message chat as well. I use that, and the action was not executing perfectly. So I use this one for the first one argument. So that worked well. But for the parameter, I don't know then
Mm.
how to
Mm.
get.
So basically, for the 5 parameter thing, now it changes. So what you can do is you can click over here to 5 parameters, and then you can get respective values.
Yeah, but that isn't working as well. I tried for the contracts. S- so just to
Okay.
check this one, I have tried. Like you just can you just read the chat from start to get the clarity.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyone, Chirag or Tushar, guys, have you been following on this chat? If you can answer it directly.
yeah.
Harsh, can you provide the name of the workflow that you use?
Yeah.
I will get that and paste it in chat.
Okay. Until Mudit is getting on it, so we have deployed both of our workflows, and now I'm going to shoot a request. So I have added the student wallet address and the student ID. Let's proceed. Okay. So This data has gone to blockchain now, and we have made the request. So as you can see, the certificate issued notification has been released. That means at least one of our workflow worked. Let's check our second workflow if that actually got to our yes. And yes, as you can see, we have received the notification from the respective student wallet and respective student ID, and we have created the certificate as certificate ID as 4. So it's a simple logic over here. What I've done is I've just added the certificate ID as +1. Okay, so right now I have added four certificates from now on. So that's why the ID right now it's 4. Okay, so as you can see the logic over here, it's certificate ID as total certificates. It's nothing big, but as you can see now, right now the dynamic functionality is working correctly, and this certificate issued has worked. Okay, so this is all related to what you have been struggling with on hackathon related to regex, and we'll be posting a detailed video on this as well. So if you have to copy it step by step, you can do it. Right now, I'm gonna unshare my screen, and if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Yes, Mudit, are we on something right now? Yes, I think Prasad has asked a question. So, Sahil, can you proceed with the AMA?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for
Yes.
that, Himanshi. It was a great demo, and I'm sure a lot of your doubts must have been cleared in the execution shown by Himanshi. So, guys, as we mentioned at the start of the call, we will be having now a Q&A session for all the developers building on Kwala. So, before we address the questions in the chat, we had circulated a Google form on which also we have recorded a couple of questions. So first, let's address those and then come back to the chat questions. Yeah, so I will be asking the questions now. Yeah, so the first question we received was, I was working on the Kwala network deployment, integrated Kwala with Discord successfully, but when I try to edit that workflow, I'm unable to save changes. Why is this happening?
Unable to edit the workflow. Actually, as of now, editing is not possible. That feature is not live. So once a workflow is deployed, then whatever the trigger and the actions have been provided, it will execute it in that way only.
I would like to add. So in case you want to edit, you can always create a new workflow, and we are working on like providing this functionality soon.
Just to add what Mudit said, so guys, what you can do is, let's say, I'll just share my screen for a while, just a second. So let's say, of course, I cannot edit this workflow again because it's deployed on blockchain. So that's what mutability is all about. So what I'll do is I'll just copy paste, okay, and I'll create a new workflow. So if I paste it over here, I'll get the exact details on workflow builder. First of all, the first thing that I have to do is to change the name of this workflow so that this can add to a blockchain as a new entry. When I go to workflow builder, what I can do is I can change the details. Okay, if I want to change the expiring details or any other detail, I can do that. And as I've done that, and this is as its name is a new workflow, I can compile it, save it, and deploy it again. So this is one of the things that you can do if you are, struggling with creating multiple workflows again and again.
Yeah, so that's the like a basic summarizing that blockchain transactions are immutable. Once something is on chain, you can't like reverse it or edit it. So the same logic works for Kwala workflow as well. So thank you for that, guys. Let's jump to the next question. Is there a list of addresses or the main address that runs the contract calls? I want to restrict my smart contract so that only Kwala can call it.
Yes, there is one address. So you can use that particular address and you can provide that restriction.
Yeah, you can share it in the chat. We will also be circulating it further in the community over WhatsApp and Discord. You can share it in the chat. Great.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's go to the next question. When connecting two contracts from different chains, I get a save error. I will wait till it shows save. Could not coalesce error. Message with no further details. So when connecting two contracts from different chains, I get a save error message.
So what happens sometimes, like your MetaMask or another wallet can be connected to any other chain. It's not connected to Kwala. So sometimes that happens. Our RPC node does not get any request. So that's why dashboard shows that error. So yes, that can be the issue.
Yeah, like whenever you do transactions on Kwala, make sure your wallet is in the Kwala network. And whenever you're deploying smart contracts on Ethereum or Polygon, make sure your wallet is in that network, like over that chain network to make the transactions. So make sure the network is correct. Right, Chirag, to summarize your answer?
Yes, true. It should be in the Kwala network.
Great. Next, we have a question. How can we make dynamic actions on Kwala?
So there can be context regarding the dynamic action. You will have to use regex, but in the coming phase, we are also going with the indexes only. So users will not have to bother about the creating the regex. So with the help of regex, like we are also doing the dynamic NFT use case. So for that, we can create dynamic actions.
Okay, perfect. So regex is a solution we can go to. Next up, when we deploy any contract or Ethereum or any other chain, who pays the gas fees? So guys, like in basic blockchain, the sender, like the one who's deploying the smart contract, gas fees will be charged from his or her wallet account, from his or her MetaMask. So the sender or the deployer, he or she bears the gas fees. Go to the next question. So what's the marginal difference between deploying a contract myself and deploying it using Kwala credentials?
What does here marginal difference means? I mean, if someone will be will be deploying their contract on their own, and inside the constructor, if they are setting up an owner, I mean, their key will become the owner. But if there is no such condition and they use our key, so eventually their contract will get deployed. So it's all about the ownership. If contract has that particular logic, if not, then it is the same. Your contract will get deployed, and using Kwala, it will be easy to do it.
So let's go to the next question. How can we use the notification feature in Kwala, like the post URL notification?
That's what we had shown in the demo, right?
Yeah,
That's what we have, like how we can use the post notification URL. We can refer the demo for that.
yeah, perfect. An actual implementation would be always better to go. Then how to send regex in action post API payload. So again, this was covered in the demo. Anyone would like to add something to this?
So I have pasted one URL. So you can just copy paste the regex from there and you can use it. And in future, we will be going to use indexes instead of regex. So it will be much easier for you guys.
Great, guys. Do follow the URL and you can simply select the number of parameters you want. And for those number of parameters, those many regular expressions will be generated, which you can use on Kwala. Yeah, so next question is, after final deployment in Kwala, I wasn't able to edit the API endpoint. What might I be missing?
So once it is deployed, as of now, it's not editable.
Yeah, so like similar to a smart contract logic, once something is deployed on chain, it's immutable, irreversible. So similar logic works for Kwala workflows as well. And one last question, is the expires in that is end of workflow feature causing some error? My workflow continued to run past that time, consuming Kwala credits continuously.
So yes, this happens sometimes. Like expire sale does not work. We also face this issue, like update expire sale fails sometimes. So it's a intermittent issue. It's not a user specific or anything else.
Okay, yeah, like surely we are working to improvise it to make sure it doesn't show any error. And yeah, like we have taken the most relevant questions out of the Google form responses. And yeah, now let's jump back to the questions from the chat or on the call. Apart from the chat questions, if anyone has any question, you can unmute yourself. The team is here to assist you.
So my question was regarding the what just ma'am just shown on the screen regarding the calling the another smart contract through the action. So that was like I got to know how it actually works. But what if we want to mint an NFT out of it? Like I know that you cannot practically show that right now, but can I get an overview that how it will gonna work and how it automatically mints an NFT from my wallet, and will it pop up again? Like the MetaMask will pop up again for the gas fees and that all, or it will be automatic something?
So, Kuldeep, what you can do is you can put an event and as an action. So just if I can show you something, what you can do is you can add the minting functionality in a function of a smart contract. Okay. And what you can do is in the action itself, you can add the contract address and the function name as mint. So whenever trigger something, okay, it will automatically mint the tokens that you want. Does it make sense?
Yeah, sure. Got it.
Okay, so you can emit an event, and accordingly you can call the mint function on a smart contract.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it.
Yeah, any more question, guys? How can we get Kwala? Okay, so Harsh, like for building on Kwala, we do give Kwala credits. You can simply, join our Discord. We have this Kwala credits sub channel in which you can paste your wallet address, and we will be sending you the Kwala credits. We will be taking more questions, but that will be via community channels. We will be addressing more questions via Discord and WhatsApp. For today, we are calling it a day. And rest of the questions, like do keep sharing them, and we will be addressing them. But that will be via our forums, and everyone in this call from Kwala product team are already there to address your questions over WhatsApp and Discord. So do share them there. And for today, let's call it a day. Thank you for joining. It was really great interacting with all of you, and I'm sure our team helped you, assisted you in all your doubts.
Just a second, Sahil, before we proceed, I guess we have a few questions on our chat that we can address right now. I guess Prasad had a few questions. So
Yeah.
the question is, how do you resolve a dispute when the outcome depends on historic state of a different chain? A user might claim the event on chain A never happened, but your node says it did. Providing a verifiable proof to a third party becomes a complex challenge in data availability and light client verification.
So in case of rollback and in case of claim functionality, in both of the scenarios, a situation comes when chain one has initiated a process, which is basically a trigger. And once the trigger is being done, then an action need to be performed on the chain two. The situation comes if somehow a validation fails on the chain two smart contract. When this particular situation happens, then action which is being performed on the chain one, like locking of a token, need to be released. Basically, we can call it as a rollback or a claim. And I feel, as per this chat, he is referring to the same as the last time. So this situation, we can handle it again with our Kwala using workflow. But over here, for this functionality, we will be using multiple workflows. One workflow which is taking care chain one to chain two, and happy flow, like trigger happens, which is kind of a locking functionality. Then Kwala listens, perform an action onto the chain two. There will be a second workflow which will be actively listening, monitoring to the chain two, that any kind of locking happening on that or not. If it finds that no activity is happened on the chain two, but some activity has happened on the chain one, and after a certain interval, it will roll back. So it is up to the design that how you can do it using the current system, like with the multiple workflows. Adding to that, in coming future, there will be options available where you would be able to write if else condition on the actions as well. Like if certain action one, action two, you have written in action one, if it fails somehow, then you can perform the action two.
Great, guys. Really, I'm enjoying the enthusiasm, the interaction, but we have to call it a day. Rest of the questions will be addressed by the team on our social platforms, on the community channels via Discord, WhatsApp. So do join them and keep interacting with the community. We are there to assist you always, and keep building on Kwala. So that's it for today. And also a big thank you to my dear team for joining our call and assisting you guys. So thank you, team, and thank you to all the attendees for joining. Let's catch up soon in the next Kwala webinar.